Hey everybody, just getting ready to install my light bar. I'm gonna mount it up here. I don't want to mount it to the roof just because I don't want it getting whacked with tree branches and stuff. So I'm gonna mount it underneath. I'm either gonna come off this bar straight here with some brackets, or I'll mount it to these little brackets, these gussets here. Haven't figured it out yet. I just don't want it to hang too low. So whatever I can do to kind of get it up. Anyway, we'll figure the mount out a little bit later, but I'm just kind of getting started. Getting prepped. First thing I did was made room for the switch. The eco mode switch was here, and I moved it over to here so I can add my overhead light bar switch here. My brush guard light bar switch is here. I just want the two lights together, so I just moved this one over. Made a hole for that. Took the center console out. It's pretty straightforward. The shift gate comes off first. There's a screw here, and there's two screws on the front. They're like, I think they're 25 Torx bits. The shift gate will come out, and then there's one screw goes in here. I think it's the same size. You got to loosen up to get this thing up, and then there's one of those little push plastic tree things, holds it in here. And there's one up on the front right there, and then there's another one up towards the top, and then a few little things lock it in the slot, but you can basically just pull the center console out at that point. And you can see I've got, for my other light bar, the wiring harness comes off the switch, and I basically got it zip tied to the factory harness. Runs along down, it's kind of just zip tied along the way. And then it comes over here to the battery, and I mounted the fuse block and the relay and everything down under there. I'm probably just going to route the same way. It's the same harness I bought for the other light, so I'll just route it right along with this one. Got the wire kind of pre-strung through the cage, so I can pull the wires for the light down through. I just haven't quite figured out where I'm going to go from here. If I'm going to drill a hole to run it down through under the dash. I don't want to go out under the hood and then come back under. I want to kind of just go straight down. We'll see how that works out. All right, so I'm just finishing up the wiring. Got here's for the other light. Haven't got it hooked up yet. They'll go to the battery, and I just run it along the stock loom here, and just zip tied the crud out of it, following the factory loom, and it goes up and out where the factory loom comes out. Just kept zip tying, and then these two run up to the two switches. This is the wire that's going to eventually go up and over to the light itself. Just got it laying right there. But yeah, the wiring part is done. I just need to put center console back in. Okay, center console back in. A little update from earlier, the screws are T27, not T25. There's one there, and there's two on the front right there. And that shift gate will come out. Yeah, anyway, like I said earlier, but they are T27, not T25. Yeah, center console's back in. Everything's getting kind of buttoned up in here. I can start on the outside. Alright, so I got the wire running to the light. Comes up here, goes up and over the column, and goes up and over all this mess. Goes out way up there and comes out. I drilled a little hole. I don't know, I'm going to fill it in with some black silicone or something. I don't know. There's nothing under there. And you could even drill the hole right here. There's nothing under there. It just will drip straight down and end up at your floor pan. But either way, I think I'll probably, I don't know, there's a seam right here. I mean, it's fine, I guess, as far as really gotta clean up the shavings, but I don't know. Anyway, it runs into the cage and comes out right there, and it will run to the light. You can see that was just barely long enough. The light itself has some wire on it, so I'll probably end up hooking it up, wrapping this real good, and heat shrinking it up real good and pulling it back down through having it in here somewhere and then just putting this light back underneath. I don't know. Figure all that out. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have. I don't know. We'll see when the light gets on. But anyway, yeah, wires there. Just figuring out how to mount the light. Okay, so these are the mounts. Let's give these a try. We will see. Got these off Amazon. They're about $16, $17. See if they work. So one thing I forgot to mention with these clamps is you need a 1.875 inch clamp. A 1 7/8 clamp. A 2 inch will not fit, like this one. And a 1 3/4 will not fit, like one up there. Yeah, I had to buy 3 sets. Okay, so there's what the brackets look like in place. I ain't gonna lie to you, they are a bugger to get on. They are tight. But yeah, that's what they look like in place. I just have to kind of get them in a rough position so I can get the light bar up there. I just need to make sure I'm good widthwise, and we'll try and get the light bar up in place. Should point out these, there's different size holes. So depending on what size of mounting screw your light bar has, you know, so yeah, depending on the screw, kind of depends on, you know, in or out obviously, but which size of these holes you use to mount with. Okay, there's the light bar mounted. Just gotta wire it to there. I ain't gonna lie to you, that was a pain in the ass. I had to modify the roll cage. I had to cut a little notch out of this gusset right here just so I could get a little extra room here. Same on the other side. And then the problem with this curved bar is the ends of the light aren't square, they're kind of canted this way, and these arms really like to be straight, so that took a little manipulation. And as deep as the light is, and I don't know if I'd recommend doing it this way or not. I like the looks of it. It's up high, kind of splits the difference between, focus here, splits the difference between the roof and the roll cage a little bit. No complaints. I mean, it's really not gonna hurt my visibility. Sorry about the lights. Yeah, I don't know. And there's where the backs of the clamps. I don't know, man. It took some strong arming to get it up in there. If you had one a little bit smaller, or even one that was not rounded, it'd probably be a little bit easier. But if you're gonna use these brackets, you're gonna have to trim that and do a little work to get a 32-inch bar on the roll cage here. That's about all I can say. Anything under that would be a little easier, but 32, if it was 31, you'd be money. But man, 32 is about a half an inch too long, but I kind of made it work, and it's tight. I mean, it's super solid. It ain't going anywhere. Anyway, onto the wiring. Okay, there's the finished product. It is wired. It is in place. The wire, I mean, it's connected down in here. I had this up hanging out, as you know. Made the connections, heat shrinked and heat shrinked and heat shrinked, and then just pulled everything. So, you know, the connection's down in here somewhere, but it is just heat shrinked crap. Just kind of zip tie the wire out of the way, leave a little bit of slack, a little wiggle room. But that is it. It is up and mounted, and it works great, and it looks good. It's not too high, it's not on the roof. Not gonna get whacked too bad with branches, and yeah, I just think it looks, that's the look I was going for. I mean, yeah, I wish it went all the way across, but there's just no way without completely removing those gussets in the roll bar. Just no way. I mean, that is the biggest light that's gonna fit right there, and even that took a little modification to get it to fit. Okay, so I'm in my garage, just the back of the garage door. For reference, that's the low beams, that's the high beams. That is the 12-inch spot flood combo light, and that is the 32-inch light bar up on top. Let's take it outside and see what it looks like outside. Okay, we're all wired up outside, ready to test it out. You can see the two switches there. And that's the one, the 12-incher on the bumper, and then this is for the big 32-inch up top. So for reference, let's get it to focus on something. Anyway, that's alright, just go ahead and focus. Come on, you can do it. Focus on something. Alright, so that's a low beam on the headlights, high beam headlights. That's my 12-inch bar on the bumper, and that is the 32-inch spot flood combo on top. Huge difference. I mean, even as bright as that bumper out light is, man, that thing just kills it. That's off. That's a 12-inch light bar. Nothing. And back to headlights. Big difference. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you like what you see. Like I say, I don't think I would recommend doing it this way. Is it just because it was a pain in the butt? I did make it work, and I think it looks great. I think the end result is good. I don't know. I'm happy with the way it is, but boy, what a pain in the butt. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Stay tuned. Thanks, guys.